Viewers, welcome back to the show. We're talking with Kate Carnell and Nunzio Tartaglia about the broader issue of psychiatric injuries and also how they interact with the insurance system. Nunzio, what is the big issue when we're dealing with insurance?
Well, the big issue when it comes to mental health conditions is I suppose twofold. One is their ability to actually obtain insurance, and secondly is their ability to claim on insurance if they do make a claim under their policy. So it's sort of twofold issue, and Kate would have a lot to discuss in that regard.
Kate, your organisation prepared a report in 2011.
Look, we did. With the Mental Health Council of Australia, we did quite a significant amount of work looking at issues that people with mental health conditions were experiencing with the insurance industry. And what we found is that lots of policies have catch-all clauses which fundamentally say if you've ever suffered from depression, anxiety, stress, insomnia, psychotic episodes or whatever, we will not cover you. Now that's patently insane. I mean, the dilemma we've got here is a very large percentage of Australians, in fact 1 in 5 Australians will experience depression or anxiety at some point in their lives. So we're talking about a lot of people. You simply can't have exclusion clauses. In fact, we believe it's against the law. The current Act says that insurance companies cannot discriminate against people with mental health conditions unless they have actuarial data to back this up. And we simply don't believe they have that data. And we've been negotiating with them for 10 years and they've never come up with it. So we think we're pretty clear on that.
Nunzio, assuming you are not accepted for insurance, what are your avenues? What can you do?
Oh, well, there's a couple of, if not, you should go to maybe the Financial Ombudsman. I said...
Human Rights Commission.
Human Rights Commission. There's a couple of means you go for, and the other side of that is if you did have a claim, or you did have insurance, but then the claim wasn't accepted, you could go to the Superannuation Complaints Tribunal, the Ombudsman again, or make a
and you could also
common law
probably
claim.
apply to the Charter of Human Rights.
Look, that's true. What we'd like them to do too is get in touch with Beyondblue at the moment. We believe the only way we're going to solve this is if we actually take some claims to court.
Okay.
We believe the insurance industry is acting outside the law in these issues, and by taking a series of claims, and potentially in the long term maybe even a class action, we believe we'll get it sorted out. So get in touch with Beyondblue if you've got a situation where you've been knocked back for insurance based upon a mental health situation.
And Nunzio, under the Underwriting Insurance and Disability Discrimination Act 1992 Commonwealth, there's a section that deals with discrimination, isn't there?
Yeah, it's at section 46, and Kate briefly touched upon it, and I said they only really can discriminate if they've got the actuary data or historical data, or it's reasonable in the circumstances. And from
what's reasonable?
Yeah, we're looking at the looking at what's in I suppose the information. There's really no definition as to what's reasonable, so it's very unknown at this stage. Would that be correct?
That's the case. And look, you could get knocked back on the basis of stress or insomnia. Now, how many of us haven't been stressed or couldn't sleep occasionally? I mean, this is absolutely it's really stupid
Probably
behaviour.
everyone in society's got those issues.
Yeah, that's true. So it's everyone. We're all out.
Just some of the things that the court looked at in the matter of Bassanelli was on the issue of reasonableness is practical and business considerations. I don't know what that means. The nature of the risk being considered, that's very broad. All other relevant factors of a particular case, whatever that means. So
I think it leads to Kate's point. It's not defined, and so they're just making ad hoc decisions. Would that be?
Look, that's the case, and we found that where people have brought forward cases, often they've been settled before they've got to court. I think the insurance industry is acutely aware they're on very shaky grounds here.
And Calendar's case, Nunzio, just briefly.
Tony, this is a good case you raise, and it brings up a comment made by Crystal on our Facebook page about the importance of disclosure on when you make a claim under your insurance policy. This is a case in which, unfortunately, Mrs. Calendar passed away, had a life insurance on foot, which is for about $375,000.
That's correct.
Her husband then made a claim on that on behalf of the estate, and the insurance company declined it on the fact that she failed to disclose previous mental health issues, that she was depressed over the last 30 years. And they also said that she had associated substance abuse, which was a point of contention in the case. And ultimately, it was heard before Judge Davis at the County Court of Victoria, and she found for the estate of Mrs. Callender, and that the policy applied, and found that even though she hadn't disclosed her depression over the last 30 odd years, that in the event, I think the insurance company still would have made good on the policy.
Yep.
So,
Kate, isn't a simple solution for an insurance company to charge a bit more on a premium?
Look, if they've got evidence to suggest that somebody is a risk, absolutely. The fact is they need evidence to do it. Otherwise, it's discriminatory and it's not in line with the law.
You make a good point. Sorry, Tony. You make a good point there, Kate, because in this case it raises issues about the definition of associated substance abuse, and they actually couldn't come to any definition, and the claims manager was effectively just making it up as she went, and it was her decision, and it was ad hoc. There was no actual decision-making process in that regard.
One of the things we're trying to convince the insurance industry to do is to ensure that their agents are properly trained, and we don't end up with this ad hoc decision making made by people who really don't understand mental health issues at all.
Kate, isn't there another way to deal with this issue? If you get declined for insurance, why don't you take it up with a radio station or one of those Today Tonight programs, or even go to the papers, because I think they're they're concerned about what the papers and what the radio stations put out.
Look, this is really true, and I think what a lot of people don't understand is this is not just life insurance, it's even travel insurance, We recently had a case where a couple were knocked back, were knocked back for a claim on travel insurance because their daughter ended up experiencing a psychotic episode 2 weeks before they left. They claimed on this major trip that they'd already paid for. The insurance company wouldn't pay because it was a mental health issue. Now, how unfair is that? It wasn't even them. How were they supposed to know?
Tartaglia would love to take on something like that, wouldn't you, Nunz? Yeah. That's your area of expertise, isn't it?
Yeah. I said, this is definitely something that we'd look into, and I said it is patently unfair a lot of the time. And you're right, it's not just life insurance, it's not just travel insurance, it's income protection, trauma insurance,
general insurance,
TPD.
Yep.
There's a raft of insurance out there that you can be discriminated against.
I love what your organisation's doing, Kate, and I think there's an opportunity for you to tell the public about your new website and
Beyondblue has got a range of new services which we're really proud of. Got a new website which has a chat element, so you can have a chat if you've got with Beyondblue with mental health professionals that do this on our behalf. If you've got an issue, we've also got a new call line which has mental health professionals who are ready to take your calls. That's 1300 22 46 36. So it's really important. If you're feeling bad, if you're feeling sad, if you've had an issue that you just can't deal with, to get in touch with Beyondblue, and we'll point you in the right direction.
I think we'll have to get Kate back in the future, because this is a subject very close to our hearts. And Nunzio, anything else you want to add? Yeah,
I'll just say, look, thanks, Kate. It's a great cause. It's a great concept, and I'd urge everybody to go to the website and donate and contribute, because it's just invaluable.
Kate, thanks for coming on board. Nunzio, thanks for coming on board.
Thanks, Tony.
Viewers, thanks for watching. Go to Facebook and Twitter. Give us your comments. Also, stay tuned for future episodes, and please always stay safe.